Alternative dairy milk have spiked in popularity over the last several years. U.S. sales of milk made out of plants reached nearly $2 billion in 2015. Dairy milk sales have dropped by more than 9% since 2011. The dairy industry is now demanding that the FDA define and enforce exactly what milk is. Ripple is a newcomer to the non-dairy market. The company produces the only line of milk made from yellow peas. Target, Whole Foods, Safeway, Wegmans, ShopRite, and other stores sell Ripple. Co-founder and CEO Adam Lowry is with us now. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So how does it taste?
It tastes great, actually. The thing is...
If it didn't taste great, Adam, would you say, you know, Charlie, it doesn't taste so good. It's an acquired taste.
I tell you...
No, I'm saying, like, what does it taste like?
It doesn't taste anything like chicken.
Yeah.
No, actually,
tastes like peas.
Protein is flavorless. All proteins are flavorless. We think of protein-based foods as being really meaty, or in the plant-based world, like soy. But we use peas because they're really high in protein. And if you get really pure protein, it actually has no flavor. So these products, Ripple, tastes a lot more like dairy milk than really any other dairy alternative.
I know. I'm trying to make the connection in my brain between peas and milk and how that's a good thing for you and that it tastes good. Help us, Adam.
So the current situation is that most dairy alternatives are really bad alternatives to dairy. So a glass of milk has 8 grams of protein in it. Almond milk, which is the most popular non-dairy milk, only has 1. Most people think that nut milks, would have protein because they're from nuts.
And most people think almonds are very good for you.
Right, but almond milk only has 1 gram of protein. Cashew and coconut milk, also popular, they have none, right? So we made Ripple to be dairy-free the way it should be, which is a great source of protein, a lot less sugar, and really creamy and delicious the way that milk should be.
What other ingredients are in there that help it make it creamy and delicious and taste like milk?
Exactly.
Yes.
Are those natural?
So the product is vegan. So all of the ingredients come from plant sources, and the fats in the products are there's a couple of different types of sunflower. There's algal oil in there, which gives you a DHA omega-3 fatty acids, and that gives it that really rich, creamy texture, which we all know that a typical nut milk's really kind of watery and thin. These products are really, really creamy.
I want to read you what the National Milk Producers Federation said, which supports the Daily Pride Act. They say, quote, "The labeling of plant-based alternatives as milk conveys a nutritional equivalency that is not accurate. Why do you need to call it milk? Why don't you call it a different product?"
Well, I think the dairy industry is playing defense because they're losing a lot of customers. The fact is that no plant-based product is calling itself milk without calling it a plant-based milk or a soy milk. And in fact, there's already case law that has decided that nobody's going to get confused calling us soy milk.
But would you acknowledge there's not nutritional equivalency?
Well, there is with Ripple. And so, on one hand, I'm sympathetic to the cause of the dairy industry, which is you've got these almond milks out there that are harvesting the halo of that word milk unfairly because it's got 1/8 of the protein, the primary nutritional benefit.
That's why a lot of athletes drink a glass of milk after working out because the protein is so high.
And we think, great, let's define milk, but 36% of Americans prefer plant-based milks. So let's define it in a way that everybody can enjoy it, whether you want it out of the udder of a cow or whether you want it straight from the plants.
You got the name Ripple from, and where you got this idea from? What? Were you just fed up with milk, or you're lactose intolerant?
Well,
what's your backstory here?
In a word, I started Ripple for impact. What gets me out of bed every morning is trying to use business to help people and to help the environment. I started a cleaning products company called Method before I started this business. And I started Ripple because I wanted to create impacts in a really big way. And a lot of mainstream people, not just people lactose intolerant, are trying plant-based products now. And those products have got to be really delicious if we're going to get the environmental and health benefits that come along with that.
Adam Lowry, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.